For each F1 team, there are a number of components that make it successful. First off, the car is probably the most important. After all, that's the only reason drivers win world championships, right? But after that, you have the drivers, and with 2 per team, they hold the key in getting the most out of the vehicle, or turning it into the most pieces in the case of Logan Sargent. So with drivers making all the difference, let's go through the grid and find out who has the best and the worst driver lineups of 2024. In 10th place, the last pair on the grid, with a duo that's even worse than socks and sandals, it's Sauber, or Kick, or Steak, or whatever the heck they're called now. Honestly, these two are less inspiring than if Lawrence Stroll was asked to give a speech about how the world is coming to an end. But seriously, Sauber are last. You have Valtteri Bottas, who doesn't really give you anything special, and then you have Zhou Guanyu, who also doesn't give you anything special, with each driver having career highlights of being flipped upside down at Silverstone and being told to move out of the way for someone else.
Valtteri, it's James.
Traditions.
I'm really not expecting too much. Combine that with a car that gives very little opportunity to showcase talent, and you end up with the story of 2023, watching an entire F1 race and genuinely forgetting that Sauber is even competing. In 9th place, Team Headless Chicken, aka the Haas F1 team, where everyone is running around with not a clue what's really going on. While the days of Mr. Beyblade and Mr. Splits Cars in Half are behind them, the 2024 lineup, well, it's not really that much better. Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hülkenberg. While coming into last year, we were kind of hoping for some more of this.
Suck my balls, mate.
Well, we just sort of got this. As neither driver really provides much to get excited about, with Magnussen's 2023 cementing him as one of the grid's bottom few drivers. Then on the other side of the garage, Nico Hülkenberg. You do get the occasional good performance, but hardly enough to really say he's one of F1's better drivers. Certainly not in the top 3, that's for sure. Next up in 8th, Williams. Now yes, I know Alex Albon is a great driver, and after last year is on the fringes of the top 5. Well, my top 5 drivers at least. But then you have Logan Sargent. When Nicholas Latifi was replaced, we all cheered and celebrated. However, after Logan's rookie year in 2023, I almost want the Canadian back.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
While yes, I'm sure Logan is a lovely guy, he barely scraped a single point last year, only due to Mercedes and Ferrari incompetence, also leading the standings for most crash damage caused, even more than the Las Vegas Strip drain covers, and so I do think Logan just drags the Williams lineup down to 8th place. Now on to 7th, and Team Red Bull Wannabe, also known as AlphaTauri, or whatever the heck they end up being called this year. Current theories are Visa, Cash App, Racing Bulls.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard of.
But when it comes to drivers, they've got a duo that in general is pretty decent. You've got Short King Yuki Tsunoda, a swearing machine that generally drives decently, and then Daniel Ricciardo, who spent 2021 and 2022 destroying his career, but did look decent on the most part when back in 2023. Not to mention that both drivers have a shot at the big boy team this year, given Sergio Perez's current nosedive trajectory. So on the whole, a pretty solid pairing. So in 6th, Team Canada Cash, aka Lawrence Stroll's weekend play toy, aka Aston Martin, who really are a tale of two halves. On one hand, you have Fernando Alonso, a double world champ, one of the most experienced drivers on the grid, and more importantly, still one of the best. And then you have Lance Stroll, the underperforming, team member shoving, bike crashing son of owner Lawrence Stroll. While showing the occasional good flash, Lance's performance are usually pretty disappointing, or at least that's what I describe them as. You know, when your teammate is in 3rd watching you pass a Williams for 13th on the big screen. I do hope that one day Lance will show some really consistent, good driving ability, but until that happens, he's dragging Aston Martin down to 6th. Nothing shouts mid more than Alpine. Car performance? Mid. Team performance? Mid. Drivers? Slightly above mid. The French duo that don't get along, but on track perform well, with Alpine having what I would describe at least as the most even driver pairing on the grid. Both of them perform solidly at a minimum and can excel when given the chance, such as Ocon's podium in Monaco and Gasly's one in Max Verstappen's backyard. While neither is overly special, they at least aren't Lance Stroll, and so as a duo, the Frenchies get 5th place. In 4th place, Red Bull. Yep, Sergio Perez is that bad, he drags the 3-time F1 world champion Max Verstappen from 1st all the way down to 4th. First off, Max. There's no doubt in my mind that the Dutchman sits all alone at the top of the driver rankings. That's literally all I have to say on Max. Sergio Perez, however, oh boy. In 2023, he was awful. When the question of the year is, was he worse than Lance Stroll? Well, it really does sum it up. The races were a bit better, but if cars are even just a little closer in 2024, I think that poor performance really will show through. So for the Red Bull duo, 4th it is. In 3rd place, it's team how many sponsors can we fit on a car? McLaren. With arguably the best lineup for future years, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri make a pretty good duo. Lando has steadily become one of the top drivers on the grid, even if he is yet to win a race, but his performances have been top-notch, pushing Max Verstappen, even just a little, when he got the chance to do so, plus high-quality outright pace and racecraft. Then, on the other side, Aussie second-year driver Oscar Piastri, who, in 2023, put together the best rookie season since Lewis Hamilton, including a race win during the round in Qatar, albeit a sprint race win. However, while generally good as a rookie, for me did lack some pace at times and is clearly still fully finding his feet in F1. However, a 3rd place slot overall is not too bad for McLaren. Next in 2nd, Mercedes. Compared with McLaren, I have them slightly ahead. For me, Hamilton and Norris are currently at a similar level, with Norris having the edge in qualifying and Hamilton having the edge in race pace. Then, for the second driver, as of right now, I take George Russell over Oscar Piastri, even if he does have a slight tendency to smash into things, especially when they're called Max Verstappen. Now, while the stock of both drivers in the Mercedes team isn't quite as high as it has been in years gone by, they're still a pretty good duo, capable of pole positions and race wins. Whether the car is any good, well, that's a whole other question. But for drivers, it's P2. Meaning in 1st, Ferrari. Yes, they actually won something, these rankings. Now, while Carlos Sainz may have been busy picking fights with drain covers last year, he did have himself a really solid season, and for me, elevated himself into that top group, with the likes of Norris, Hamilton, Alonso, and teammate Leclerc, who last year showed that when the car had pace, he was always capable of delivering. And so with 2 top-tier drivers, Ferrari have a duo that take top spot, even if they do fancy crashing into the odd wall now and again. But anyway, that's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Get yourself subscribed to the channel. And until next time, take care.